There is a kind of person the world never sees coming. Not because they hide, not because they are timid or small, but because they made a choice, a quiet, deliberate, almost ruthless choice, to stop performing and start building. The Stoics called it reserve. Marcus Aurelius practiced it every single day as the most powerful man in the known world. He kept journals no one was meant to read. He wrestled with his own failures in private. He built his character in the dark, long before the spotlight ever found him. That is the tradition you belong to when you choose silence over noise. Most people misread silence. They see it as absence, as weakness, as someone who has nothing to say, nothing to offer, nothing burning inside them. And that misreading, that comfortable, lazy assumption, is the greatest strategic gift you will ever receive. Because while they are busy deciding what you are busy becoming something they cannot yet imagine. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, born a slave, chained, owned, reduced to property, understood this at a level most free men never will. He said that no man is free who is not master of himself, not master of his reputation, not master of how others see him, master of himself, his thoughts, his discipline, his response to the world's indifference. And the world is indifferent. Let that land. It does not care how hard you have worked. It does not care about your potential. It does not keep score of your effort or your intention. It only registers results, only outcomes, only what you actually become. That truth is brutal. But for those willing to carry it, it is also liberating. Because once you stop waiting for the world to notice, you stop needing it to. And that is when something shifts deep inside you. Something ancient, something that was always there, waiting to be uncaged. You stop being a spectator to your own life, and you start becoming its architect. Silence is not a phase. It is a philosophy. It is the decision to protect your energy from people who would drain it, to guard your vision from voices that would dilute it, to move through the world like deep water, powerful, purposeful, and terrifyingly calm on the surface. The lion does not explain the hunt to the grass. The river does not ask permission to carve the canyon. And the man who is truly becoming dangerous, he does not announce his next move. He simply makes it. There is a psychological concept called self-disclosure fatigue. Research shows that when we talk about our goals, our brains register a kind of false completion, a social reward that mimics the feeling of actually achieving something. We get the dopamine hit without doing the work. We feel the satisfaction without earning it. Silence protects you from that trap. When you stop talking about what you are building, you remove the counterfeit reward. You force your nervous system to find its satisfaction only in real progress, in actual reps, in genuine results. And over time, your brain rewires. It stops craving applause. It starts craving excellence. That is not discipline in the motivational poster sense. That is neurological transformation. That is who you are becoming. So let them think you have gone quiet because you have nothing to say. Let them assume your silence means surrender. The greatest storms in history gave no warning. There is a version of you that nobody has met yet. Not the version they remember from 2 years ago. Not the version they underestimated at the dinner table or dismissed in the meeting room, or wrote off with a casual smile. A version forged somewhere they were never invited. In a room at 5 in the morning. In a gym with no audience. In the long, unremarkable hours between who you were and who you are becoming. That version does not need to introduce himself. He walks in and the room already knows. Psychology has a name for the internal orientation that produces this kind of person. It is called intrinsic motivation. The drive to do something not because of external reward or recognition, but because the work itself, the growth itself, the becoming itself, is the point. Studies consistently show that intrinsically motivated people not only outperform their peers over time, they also sustain that performance longer, recover from setbacks faster, and build deeper levels of mastery. The average man is extrinsically driven. He needs the likes. He needs the comments. He needs someone to see the early morning and validate it before he wakes up for another one. but you are learning to be different. Every time you train when no one is watching, you are building intrinsic muscle, not the muscle in your arms, the muscle in your character, the kind that does not atrophy, the kind that compounds silently, invisibly, unstoppably, until the day it becomes undeniable. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that stopped me cold the first time I read it. He said, "Confine yourself to the present, not to the memory of who doubted you, not to the fantasy of the moment they finally see it, not to the imagined applause of future success. The present, this rep, this hour, this version of the work in front of you right now, that is where power lives. Not in the story you are telling yourself about the future, in the action you are taking in this moment, when no one is watching, when it does not feel good, when the motivation is gone and all you have left is the decision to keep going anyway. That decision, repeated 1,000 times in private, is what creates a man the world cannot ignore. Here is what they will never understand about you. The people who doubted you, who laughed, who whispered and assumed. They will see the result and call it luck. They will see the transformation and call it sudden. They will watch you step into a room with that quiet, unmistakable authority, and they will tell themselves a story about good timing or natural talent, because the alternative, that you simply outworked every single doubt they ever placed on you, is too uncomfortable to admit. Let them have their story. You know what really happened. You know about the nights you almost quit and didn't. The days you showed up broken and worked anyway. The seasons when your own mind was louder than any critic and you learned to shut it out and move. You know about the cost. And because you know the cost, you carry the result differently. Not with arrogance, with weight, with a kind of quiet gravity that people feel before they can explain it. The Stoic Emperor Hadrian said that he had seen generals defeated not by their enemies, but by their own hunger for recognition. They made decisions based on how the moment would look rather than what it would build. They chose the impressive move over the correct one. Do not be that man. Choose the correct move, even when it is invisible, even when no one records it, even when the only witness is the mirror. The loneliness of this path is real. It would be dishonest to pretend otherwise. There will be seasons where the silence feels less like strategy and more like exile, where the people around you seem to be moving forward in ways you can see, posting milestones, celebrating wins, getting the recognition you are quietly grinding toward. And in those moments, something in you will want to break cover, to post something, to announce something, to remind the world that you are still here, still building, still becoming. Resist that, not because visibility is wrong, but because the announcement always costs more than it gives. The moment you seek external validation for the internal process, you dilute the process. You invite noise into a space that requires silence. You hand your energy to people who have not earned it and who will not protect it. Seneca wrote, "Retire into yourself as much as you can." He was not talking about isolation. He was talking about recollection. The act of gathering yourself back from the 1,000 places the world scatters you, pulling your attention inward, reconnecting to the work, the mission, the standard you are actually building toward. That recollection is a daily practice. It is not glamorous. No one makes documentaries about it, but it is the root system of every outcome that eventually breaks the surface. There is a concept in psychology called delayed gratification, and its importance goes far beyond the famous marshmallow test. What the research actually shows, when you dig past the headlines, is that the ability to delay gratification is not just about willpower. It is about trust. The children who waited were not simply more disciplined. They were in environments where they had reason to believe the second marshmallow would actually come. They trusted the process. The man building in silence is doing something similar. He is trusting a process that has no guaranteed timeline, no guaranteed audience, no guaranteed reception. He is betting on himself in a room where no one else is willing to make that bet. And that kind of faith, evidence-based, earned through repetition, grounded in genuine self-knowledge, is one of the rarest things a human being can develop. Most people never get there. They are too afraid of the quiet, too uncomfortable with the uncertainty, too addicted to the feedback loop of constant visibility. You are learning to live without that loop. And in doing so, you are becoming someone they cannot touch. Here is the psychological truth underneath all of this. Identity precedes behavior. Most people wait to feel like a disciplined person before they act like one. They wait to feel motivated before they work. They wait to feel confident before they take the risk. But the research is clear. You do not think your way into a new identity. You act your way into it. Every rep in silence is an identity vote. Every quiet morning is a declaration of who you are choosing to become. Not who you feel like today. Not who the world currently recognizes. Who you are building toward, one invisible action at a time. That is the war. And it is fought in rooms no one sees. So when the loneliness comes, and it will come, do not reach for validation. Reach for the work. Let the work remind you of who you are. Let the work be the voice that talks back to the doubt. Let the work be the evidence that you are not stalling, not hiding, not shrinking. You are becoming. Quietly, powerfully, irrevocably. There is a moment every man faces. It arrives differently for everyone, but it arrives. It might come at 3 in the morning when the house is quiet, and the weight of how far you still have to go presses down on you like something physical. It might come in the middle of a conversation where someone casually dismisses a dream you have been quietly carrying for years. It might come in a moment of total stillness, when the noise of distraction finally clears and you are left alone with the question you have been avoiding. Am I actually becoming someone, or am I just telling myself I am? That question is not your enemy. It is a compass. The Stoics did not fear self-examination. They demanded it. Marcus Aurelius ended every single day by asking himself where he had fallen short, not to punish himself, but to calibrate, to close the gap between the man he was and the man he was committed to being. That kind of honest self-reckoning is what separates people who transform from people who simply intend to. Intention is everywhere. Every gym on the 1st of January is a cathedral of intention. Every new year, every Monday, every new journal is an altar to the idea of becoming. But intention without execution is just an extended form of procrastination. It is a way of feeling the feeling of progress without doing the work of progress. You have been doing the work, not because it is easy, not because you feel like it every day, but because somewhere inside you, underneath the doubt and the fatigue and the questions, there is something that will not negotiate. Something that does not accept the comfortable story. Something that keeps pulling you back to the process even when every other part of you wants to stop. That is not motivation. Motivation is weather. It changes. It disappears. It comes back uninvited and leaves the same way. What you have is something older and more reliable. Call it conviction. Call it obsession. Call it the refusal, quiet and total, to become a man who looked at what he could have been and chose comfort instead. The philosopher Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, lost everything in a shipwreck. His cargo, his livelihood, the entire material structure of his life, gone in one afternoon. According to the accounts, he walked into Athens and found a bookshop. He started reading. And from that wreck, from that complete material loss, he began building one of the most enduring philosophical traditions in human history. He did not announce a comeback. He did not post about the loss. He simply began. That is the template, not the dramatic narrative arc, not the redemption story packaged for an audience, just the decision, made quietly and completely, to begin building from wherever you are standing. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need the right time. You do not need people to believe in you before you believe in yourself. You just need to begin, and then begin again tomorrow. And the day after that, the world will catch up eventually. It always does. And when it does, when the results finally surface and the silence breaks into something the whole room can see, you will not feel the need to explain it. You will not feel the urge to say I told you so, or you should have believed me, or look what you missed. You will just stand there, present, grounded, complete. Because the work was never about them. It was always about you becoming the fullest, sharpest, most uncompromising version of yourself. And that version, the one built in silence, in discipline, in the long, dark hours of genuine effort, that version does not need their validation to feel real. He already knows what he is worth. This is where most stories end. The transformation complete. The results undeniable. The doubters silenced by the weight of evidence. But the Stoics would push back on that ending, because they understood something the motivational genre almost never talks about. The work does not end when the world starts to notice. It deepens. Marcus Aurelius sat on the throne of the Roman Empire, the most powerful ruler in the Western world at that time. Every luxury imaginable, available to him by right. Every validation a man could want, handed to him with a title. And what did he do? He kept writing in his journal. He kept questioning himself. He kept holding himself to a standard that had nothing to do with what the world thought of him. Because he understood that the moment you let external recognition become your standard, you have handed control of your identity to people who did not build it. The silence is not just a strategy for the climb. It is a way of living. It is the permanent choice to measure yourself against your own standard, your own code, your own deepest understanding of what you are capable of, rather than against what others are willing to give you. That is freedom, not the kind sold in commercials. Real freedom. The freedom to be exactly who you decided to become, regardless of whether the room agrees. There is a final psychological layer here worth naming. It is called post-achievement identity collapse, and it is more common than anyone talks about. People spend years building toward a goal. They achieve it, and then they feel, inexplicably, empty, lost, unsure of who they are without the hunger. This happens because they made the goal the identity. And when the goal arrived, the identity had nowhere left to go. The man who builds in silence does not have this problem, because his identity was never the destination. It was the process, the discipline, the daily decision to show up and do the work regardless of outcome or audience. That identity does not collapse when the goal arrives. It expands. It finds the next level. It raises its own standard without being asked. That is the kind of man who does not just achieve something once. He becomes someone capable of sustaining excellence across a lifetime. So here is what I want to leave you with. Not a call to action, not a hype up, something quieter than that. You already know what you are building. You already know the cost. You have already paid more of it than anyone around you realizes. The early mornings are real. The missed parties are real. The sessions where you pushed through exhaustion with nothing but your own will to keep you company. Those are real. None of that was wasted. Not a single rep, not a single quiet hour. Every invisible brick you laid is part of a foundation that the ground is only beginning to show. Keep going. Not because someone told you to. Not because you want to prove something to someone who doubted you. But because the man you are becoming deserves to be completed. Because that version of you, the fully forged, battle-tested, unshakable version, he is worth every cost it took to arrive. You are not noise. You never were. You are the result. Still forming, still building, still rising in the dark. And when the light comes, and it will come, do not be surprised when the world cannot find the words. You did not give them a preview. You did not offer a trailer. You simply did the work, in silence, with everything you had. Let that stand. Unshakable, unapologetic, undeniable. The silence was never weakness. It was the sound of a man becoming something the world was not ready for. Stay in it. Your journey into the depths of ancient wisdom does not end here. The video appearing on your screen right now will help you take the next step toward complete mental mastery. Click on it. Keep feeding your mind, and don't forget to subscribe. Stay wise.